When analyzing corrections in the United States versus China, we have to first analyze the difference between the two countries. China is a communist country in East Asia, and it's one of the most populated countries in the world. America is a democracy, and it's in the western side of the hemisphere, and it's another one of the leading countries in the world. The history of these two correctional systems start off as kind of similar. Every community has experienced offenders and punishment since the beginning of time, and in America, most punishments consisted of executions until Quakers introduced the prison system to serve as a place for people to repent. China experienced very harsh punishments from leaders who thought it would deter people from other crimes. Public torture, wooden collars, being cut into pieces, and many other heinous punishments. The ideologies that differ between the two countries are as follows. America has the punishment, rehabilitation, prevention, and restorative justice ideology, and China has a tough on crime policy and rehabilitation through hard labor inside the prisons. The sentencing is pretty much the same. They both have death penalties, they have minor offenses, and they have appeal trials for every inmate. Both countries make good use of intermediate sanctions such as community service, house arrest, probation, and fines. The one difference is that America uses a restitution as an intermediate sanction and China does not. Custody control. America is a 24-hour custody control. It's run by wardens, superintendents, correctional officers, and jailers. Lockdowns, head counts, strip searches, electric benches, gun towers, and other things of the sorts are what's done in America. And then China is also ran by wardens, administrative departments, but they use preventive devices and weapons, and their locations are usually remote, distant locations, versus America, who prisons can be in the same town as many people live in. In America, inmate rights cover religious activities, healthcare, smoking, and educational programs. And in China, since they have the reform through hard labor policy, they have 8 hours of work every day and 2 hours of study time. They're permitted to take holidays and weekends off, and they must have clinics equipped for inmates' needs, and they also get time for recreational activities such as sports. In America, males are the rising, more dangerous population. They receive harsher sentences and worse treatment. Women are the less at risk, and they get less sentencing and less violent, and there's more opportunities for parole for women than there is men. While in China, females receive the harsher punishments, and they're the highest rate of female incarceration in the world. Facilities don't compensate for women's needs, and men also have less rights compared to American inmates. They have to work no matter what condition, and there are school punishments involved. In America, special category offenders have special institutions as well, like the mentally ill go to insane asylums, developmentally challenged have specific programs, and sex offenders are even treated to try to rehabilitate the offender. In China, mental health is still pushed aside, not adequate treatment, and transgender abuse occurs because of lack of understanding and respect in the system. And when it comes to parole, both countries operate parole. They have parole boards, parole officers, and they both have requirements to achieve parole. And not all, but most inmates have a chance to get parole.